you guys really are interested in the St. Pete market, and I don't blame you. There's a lot of reasons to be looking to relocate to St. Pete. And so I thought I'd just jump on here and give you guys my top 5 reasons why I think you should move to St. Pete. So let's get after it right now. Hey everybody, I'm Emily. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Florida, and I live in the Tampa St. Pete area, and this channel is dedicated to all things living, working, playing, sleeping, eating, and especially the wacko real estate market. Ta-da! 2022 has been interesting. So if you have any real estate related questions, or if you're looking to relocate to the Tampa St. Pete area, I'm your girl, but I can't help you if you don't reach out to me. So all my links are below. Best thing to do is to jump on my calendar for a 30-minute consultation. We can do a little video chat. We can talk about what you want to do, what you're looking to do. We can go over the map. It's a really great time for us to connect and kind of answer all those basic questions and get a plan. And you can also text or call or email. You've got that option as well. And if you don't mind, it would be really great if you'd hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. That helps me out a lot. And also, don't forget to smash that like button. That really helps push more of my content out to people that are like you, that are looking for more information that I am providing. So I just wanted to jump on here today with a little quick video. Hopefully it'll be quick. Sometimes I get long-winded. About St. Petersburg, Florida. That seems to be a hot topic on everybody's lips right now. I get asked about it on every client call that I have. And so real quick, what would be my top 5 reasons for moving to St. Pete? Let's get after them. Number 1, I think, would be culture. I really think, in my opinion, again, it's just my opinion, I've lived in lots of big cities and I've lived in some small cities. And I think the thing that I like the most about St. Pete and why I really love to go over to St. Pete as much as possible is culture. There's a ton of culture over there, and you've got music and art and beach and boating and so much to offer. Everybody can be entertained, truthfully, in St. Pete. And a lot of it is walkable, which is even better. So culture would be number 1. Number 2, diversity. If you're looking for a city that is going to embrace all different nationalities, I would say St. Pete is the place for you. I go over to St. Pete all the time, and I know I'm a white girl, what can I say? But I'm in a multiracial relationship, and I have a lot of diverse friends, and I grew up with that here as well because of the Latin community that I grew up in. But it's really great to go over there and see not just people that look like me, I'm not gonna lie. And if that appeals to you, then I think St. Pete would be for you as well. I know that there are some, let's just say, more liberal cities that people are coming from, and they kind of get a little afraid to come to Florida because they've heard all of the negative things on the news, because that's what the news does, right? It gives us negative stuff.
Bad news.
But I'm gonna tell you, between Tampa and St. Pete, I would have to say St. Pete is the most diverse and the most open, in my opinion. What do you think? If you have a opposing view, hit me up below. You know I love it. Number 3, growth. I think St. Pete has just been on a trajectory of growth for several years now, at least since I've been back, and I've been back about 5 years now. And you can see with all of the cranes in the air, you know, all the buildings that are going up and how they've really done a lot of that mixed use space construction, and, you know, these buildings where you've got, you know, a cool bar or restaurant on the bottom, and you've got, you know, people living above it, and people are riding around on their bikes, and they're going to the coffee shop. It's just been a huge amount of growth. Not to mention there's a ton of companies, Fortune 500 companies, that have been making their way to the St. Pete area. Definitely in the healthcare and IT realm, that's been primarily what's coming our way. And not to mention, don't forget, hospitality, huge here because of our resort type living and vacation sensibility that we have here, because, you know, Florida is hot 95% of the time, and it's beautiful, and there's a beach. And St. Pete Beach is like the #1 beach in America, so you can't go wrong with our growth. Number 4, I would say work-life balance, or work-fun-play balance. There's a lot to do. You know, we are definitely a community of 8 to 5, 9 to 5, and then let's find a happy hour, or let's go to a show, or let's go to a festival, or, you know, let's go to a museum. There's so much to do that I do feel like, for me, coming from like Los Angeles and Atlanta and Austin, Texas, that Tampa really provides a really awesome environment for people who want that work-life balance where you get to go do something fun. Not to mention, you can get off work at 5 or 6, jump on your bike and head down a trail and watch the sun go down on the water if you so choose, which to me just kind of revives you after a long day. So I think we've got that in spades. Number 5, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say things to do. I think St. Pete has probably the most to do in a smaller, like, mile radius than any other city in Tampa. I think Tampa itself, Tampa's downtown area, you've got Channel Side and you've got the Hillsborough River and everything along there. That's like one area of great things to do. And then you can go to Wesley Chapel, which is like 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. And there's tons to do up there. And then you can go to Tarpon Springs. So Tampa's so big. There's lots of offshoots of things you can do all scattered throughout town. But St. Pete has its own like little bubble that it's in, and the energy from the east side of St. Pete to the west side of St. Pete per se is very different. So you can have more city life and all that, the walking around and the biking, along with some little baby beaches and some lakes, and we've got the pier down in St. Pete and all sorts of things like that. Like I mentioned before, the arts and cultures and music and great food joints and live workspaces. And then if you go to the west coast of St. Pete, that's all beaches, all resort town, and it's a totally different vibe. But you're just 10 miles from it, really, from one end to the other. So you have plenty of options within the St. Pete area to do a multitude of things that you desire to do in your daily life. Some people choose to visit St. Pete versus live in St. Pete, but I think a lot more people are choosing to move to St. Pete. Let me just talk about affordability for a second. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't talk about that. So, housing affordability, there are areas of St. Pete that are definitely unaffordable. Anything closer to the water, or if it is affordable, it's gonna need some renovation. That's just the nature of the beast right now. Houses are being renovated quite frequently around here. And if getting a house close to water or even on the water is your goal, you're gonna have to really look at your budget pretty closely and decide what's going to work best for you. But it is possible. And you can be on the east coast of St. Pete or the west coast of St. Pete and get water. Or you can be a block over and still have access to a beach or access to the bay where you can, launch your kayak and that sort of thing. So I do think there's a lot of opportunity if waterfront property or close to waterfront property is what you're after. But if you just want to be close to it, the inland part of St. Pete is definitely an option. I've been talking to people out Pinellas Park and Largo and parts of Clearwater. Clearwater's getting a whole revamp, so is Largo. So everybody's starting to get on the bandwagon of like, ooh, we've got people coming to our parts of town, so we better start, appealing to the younger folk that want things to do and the young families and that sort of thing. So don't limit yourself to just think that the East Coast or the West Coast of St. Pete is where it's at. I'm starting to see a lot more activity and a lot more affordable properties inland in some decent neighborhoods. It's hit or miss, as we've talked about before, so don't forget, you can reach out to me if you've got some streets in mind that you want to take a look at, and I can help you navigate all of that. So anyway, this was my take on the top 5 reasons why I think you should move to St. Pete. What are your top 5 reasons why you think you should move to St. Pete? Or what are the things that you're looking to get out of St. Pete if that's on your list? Hit me up below. Put a comment down here. I'd love to get a conversation going and seeing what everybody's interested in and why is St. Pete on everybody's list right now. Let me know, and I can answer some of those questions for you too if you've got some areas in mind that you want me to check out for you. But we can also have a 30-minute consultation over Zoom, and we can talk a little bit more specifically about your goals. And so I can't help you if you don't reach out to me. Those links are below as well. Text, email, call, but best of all, jump on my calendar and we can have that conversation. Again, I really appreciate you checking out my channel, and I hope this information was helpful and a little bit fun. And I look forward to seeing you guys again, and have a good one. Bye-bye.